Welcome everybody to the Agile 20 Reflect Festival. I'm so excited to participate in the festival. It's 20 years after the Agile Manifesto was created. And we have Surjit Das. He is the ambassador for West India for Agile 20 Reflect. So over to Surjit Das.
Thanks, Meher. Hi, this is Surajit Das. I would call myself a practitioner of Agile. A lot of things that I do with Agile and a lot of common sense stuff that I try to implement with Agile. So I'm the West India ambassador for Agile 20 Reflect Festival, and I'm probably one of the only 3 or 4 ambassadors in India for the festival. I'd like to welcome you all to the festival. Uh, as Meher said, we are celebrating 20 years of the Agile Manifesto, and it is a great event so far. I know some of you have joined other events. I've seen Maru in one of the events as well, and there are 600 plus events that the Agile 20 Reflect celebrating this. And thank you, Meher, again for accepting the invite. And thank you, audience, for being here today, this evening. So, I and Meher have been colleagues on an assignment earlier, and I'm sure we are looking forward to a cracking session. And so, without much ado, I would let Meher go ahead. Over to you, Meher.
Thank you, Surjit Das. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. Das, do you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, thank you. So this is the biggest global Agile festival ever. As Das already mentioned, over 600 events happening in February 2021. And you can see the sponsors on the top: Agile Alliance, Scrum Alliance, Agile Business, PMI, and Business Agility. These are the sponsors for this festival. And this is happening by mostly volunteers with generous donations. So agile20reflect.org welcomes the donations to support these events. Links are provided here. You can also find these links on the agile20reflect.org. So to make your contribution, whatever is convenient for you. My name is Meher Bala Gopala. I work for Guardian India Operations Private Limited as Agile Transformation Coach. I am located in one of the southern states of India called Tamil Nadu. That's where our office is located. And here today, I'm going to talk about the sprint acceleration, a new way to interpret the trend in sprint velocity. So here I have taken a hypothetical example of 5 iterations and the velocity obtained in those 5 iterations. If we plot the velocity to look at the trend, this is how it is going to look. Das, can you see the graph picture completely? I may have to hide, this part. Okay. Okay. So by looking at this velocity on the x-axis, the sprints are plotted, sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, and so on. On the y-axis, we have the story points. So all these velocities for the last 5 iterations are plotted here. So here is the question for the audience. You can use the chart to respond. The question is, how is the trend of team performance? Is it a downtrend? Is it uptrend? Is it no change or don't know? Please type in the chart. Based on the graph, how is the team performance? Is it downtrend, uptrend, no change? Don't know. Okay. Let me open the chart. Pause recording, delete, hide. Santosh, can you tell me what is the most answer?
Downtrend, Moher.
Downtrend. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Thank you, Santosh. So this is a kind of impression generally we get. That's exactly what I'm. This is the subject of my presentation. So let's take a look at the same thing. So when we look at the velocity, people who are not trained in agile are look at the velocity, and if there is a decline in the velocity, they often assume that as a decline in the performance. So I am trying to separate the velocity and the team's performance through this presentation. That is the objective of this presentation. And if we look at the reasons, if you see the actual hours put into the each sprint, in the first sprint, 2 sprints, this is a team of 10, each person's investing 6 hours per day, that is 60 hours per sprint. And total actual hours is 600. But if you look at the actual hours the team invested into the sprint 3, 4, and 5, actually it is declining. Maybe people went on vacation, or there may be some kind of natural calamity that is preventing people to continue work for a few days. Whatever may be the reasons, the investment of the actual hours has declined, and it resulted in the decline in the velocity. So velocity is changing, actual hours is also changing. With the 2 varying targets, it is difficult to really figure out the true trend in the velocity. So what we are going to do is, we are going to fix one of the parameters. We are going to fix the hours and then look at how the velocity looks. For that, what we are going to do is, for every 100 hours of actual effort, that means 100 hours means we are fixing the actual hours to 100, and then look at how the velocity looks for each 100 hours. For every 100 hours of actual effort, how many story points worth of work is produced? This is what we are going to look at. How do we do that? Simply velocity divided by the actual hours and then multiply with 100. That gives these numbers. What I call this value as acceleration. I will explain why I call this acceleration in the later slides. If you look at the acceleration, these are the numbers we are getting. That means for every 100 hours, 10 story points are produced in sprint 1, and similarly 10, 11, 14, 16. If we plot that into a graph, this is how the acceleration graph is looking. So actually the number of story points produced by the team per 100 hours is increasing iteration by iteration. Team is actually doing better. Their performance is increasing. But if we look at the velocity without considering the actual hours went into the sprint, it looks like a downtrend. So velocity is basically an output from the sprint. What I am getting out of the sprint, that is the output. Whereas acceleration indicates how the team is performing. It is an indicator of the team's performance. So here, let's take a look at the jargon. Velocity, as we learned in physics, scientifically, it is distance per time. But whereas sprint velocity is number of story points per 2 weeks, if the sprint is 2 weeks. So here, this sprint velocity is not really the velocity what we learned in physics. However, it is something per time. So we are using the word velocity as a metaphor here. So it is not really reflecting what we learned in the physics. So velocity is only a metaphor to indicate the amount of work done in 2 weeks or a sprint. So similarly, again, going back to the physics, acceleration is velocity per time. So within unit time, how much velocity is increasing or decreasing? That is called acceleration. So here in our previous math, since we are dividing the sprint velocity with the hours, so that's like velocity per time. That is why I call this as sprint acceleration. You may be wondering why I'm fascinated with these cheetahs. This animal, to catch the prey, it only accelerates. It never runs at a particular speed or maximum speed that it can run. It only accelerates to catch its prey. That is why the sprint acceleration, while it is a verbal metaphor for the concept I'm presenting here, cheetah is just a visual metaphor. And this is the data I have shown in the previous slides is basically fictitious data. And I have definitely exaggerated by choosing typical data to make my point. But now we are going to look at the real data. So this data is from one of our teams. Thanks for Ambisa for sharing this data. So we have here data from last 13 sprints. And the velocity is captured along with the actual hours went into each sprint is also captured, and acceleration is calculated the way we discussed just now in the previous slide. And this is how the graph looks. This is the real graph. So if we look at this graph, the velocity is sometimes it's going down and the team is picking up, they are producing more, it is also going up, and then later on it is going down. So we have three different trends here. So naturally, actually the Scrum Master came to me with the velocity chart and then say, management is questioning why the velocity is going down and team's morale is down. They are not so happy. What to do? So I asked her, okay, what is the actual hours put into the sprint? Then we have created the acceleration, and this is how it looks. At the bottom in the green color, if we plot the acceleration, it is almost looking like a straight line. Yes, there are uptrends and downtrends, but the trend is very, very minimal. And overall, it looks like a straight line. That means the team is performing more or less same. Their performance has not changed. If at all there is a downtrend, it may be because of the capacity, as you can see it in the data. While there is a capacity of 624 hours in sprint 6, and it went down to 534 in sprint 9. So when the capacity or the actual hours put in is going down, that is affecting the velocity. But let's say a few of the team members went on vacation, but the other team members, how are they working? They are still working the way they were doing in the previous sprints. Their performance level has not changed because a few of the team members went on vacation. The velocity is coming down, obviously. So this is the trend. When we showed this trend, it really boosted the team's morale. That's the very purpose of this concept. So if we show the red color graph to the team members and question them why the velocity is going, then generally they put sad face, put their heads down, admitting that, we are not doing well. Even the team members think that, it reflects the performance. But if we really plot the performance by acceleration, they are really doing good. Although there is a micro fluctuations here and there, more or less, regardless of how somebody in the team members taking vacation, the other team members are working more or less the same way. There is no change in their performance. So here, this slide is to help bring clarity into various verbiage we are using here. The effort is basically the input in actual hours. It's by all the team members putting their hands together. And the velocity is the output of the sprint, and it's the value we are getting out of the sprint. So it is either output or the value. Whereas the performance is inside the sprint, how the team is working. For every 100 hours of actual hours investment, how many story points they are producing within the sprint is what the actual acceleration, and acceleration is associated with the team's performance, definitely not the velocity. So here we want to see the differences between the sprint velocity and the new term I'm introducing as sprint acceleration. We all know number of story points per sprint is the sprint velocity, is a simple definition. And the definition for sprint acceleration is number of story points for 100 actual hours. Sprint velocity reflects what is coming out of the sprint, actually the output, whereas the sprint acceleration reflects the team's performance, how they are performing. Sprint velocity does not consider how much effort is getting into the sprint. It only cares about how much I am getting out of the sprint. Whereas sprint acceleration considers the effort and output both. Product owner is interested in the sprint velocity. Naturally, that is the job of the product owner, how much I am getting out of the sprint from the team. And Scrum Master is interested in building the team's performance. So Scrum Master is interested in the sprint acceleration. So this metric, this new metric, we can use to see how the trend of the team's performance is going on in our effort to build the high-performing teams. Of course, there are other attributes for the high-performing teams as well, but at least this particular measure, this particular attribute, we can numerically measure to keep an eye on how the team's performance is improving. One word of caution is, like the sprint velocity, sprint acceleration also cannot be compared across multiple teams. Team A, Team B, sprint velocity or sprint acceleration, we should not compare, because sprint acceleration still depends on sprint velocity. Sprint velocity still depends on how the story point 1 is defined, and that is unique for a particular team. For that reason, neither sprint velocity nor sprint acceleration should be compared across multiple teams. So generally, this is the myth we have. Decrease in sprint velocity means team is not performing well. And the fact is, decrease in sprint velocity is not necessarily a reflection of team's poor performance. Review the trend in sprint acceleration to understand team's performance. This is the message I wanted to share through this presentation. This is all I have. Any questions, comments will be welcome.
Yeah, one second, Megha. First of all, thanks a lot for this insightful presentation. I just have one question. Yeah. So what you said is exactly correct. So I have also faced a similar situation when the velocity of the team comes down. No, immediately management jump into questioning mode and ask us. But sometimes the management also tell us, no, having been said that the team had worked together, let's say for 3 months or 4 months, it is being expected that the team need to be cross-functional, right? Generally speaking. So the management may ask me, so don't we think that particular cross-functional capability should actually take care of some extent of the decrease in the actual, decrease in the actual hours. So, can you kindly throw some light on that?
Yeah, generally the sprint velocity is expected to increase. For a new team, it may be low. If we go back to the previous slide, it shows, one second, let me go back. So here, in the very beginning, it is 50, 52. But later on, it is floating around 80, 90, somewhere around 60. That is the range it is. So for a new team, it is natural for them to have the velocity down. And once they get used to the dynamics of the Scrum, the velocity is expected to increase.
Correct. Okay.
Provided the team is fixed and nobody is going on vacation, the input is not changing. The actual hours the team is putting are E is the input. As long as the input is fixed, it is expected to raise because they are gaining the experience, understanding the Scrum dynamics, and they are also gaining the domain knowledge. So that is expected to increase.
Okay. Fine then. Okay, fine then. Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
Meher,
Balaji.
could you please go to I think the next slide at the end, you made a remark about the comparison between teams of sprint acceleration.
Yeah.
Is your point that this should not be used to compare teams, just like we don't use velocity to compare
Exactly.
teams?
Exactly.
Right. So because it's not a comparable, it's not a normal measure. So,
Correct.
okay.
Correct.
There's a lot of.
Yeah. The reason is sprint velocity, sprint acceleration, we are calculating using this sprint velocity. It is sprint velocity by actual hours. So within the formula, the sprint velocity is there. And sprint velocity is based on how story point 1 is defined. And it changes from team to team. What is story point 1 for my team is different for other team.
Yeah, the work is different.
Yeah, that's the rudimentary basis. What is story point 1 is the rudimentary basis for these story points. And since all these formulas based on that concept, we are not supposed to compare team A and team B. Hey, their performance is more than you. Why is it like this kind of thing?
And if you show, please, the slide with the cheetah, the one with the definition of the acceleration, so the number of story points divided by time square. So is there no way to, technical analysis in stock trading, you know how they do? So there is a lot that can be read in terms of behavior of the team, at least in terms of cyclical performance, just by having the skills to do technical analysis on this kind of curves. So what the point of technical analysis is, it's not the data points that I care about, because people don't show the whole scale. There is a lot of biases that can be introduced visually because of the way you compress or dilatate the scales, etc. But there is trends and cyclical behavior that can be shown, provided the team is approximately stable, and provided they work on the same project.
Right.
Have you given it some thought or used it in some way?
The stability of the team is an assumption. That is why the moment velocity goes down, everybody gets into the impression that the team is not performing well. That is the reason I wanted to bring light into how many hours are getting into the sprint. So by considering this factor, actual hours factor also, this helps to show the true trend in the velocity. The trend that we saw initially, which looked like downtrend, is not the true trend. When we apply the actual hours, that showed pretty much stable trend. Did I answer your question, Maru?
Yes, very much, and even more. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Hi, Meher. On the next slide, I think when you had velocity on the left and acceleration on the right. Yeah. This last point on the left, the product owner is interested in sprint velocity. You know, as a Scrum Master or an Agile coach, ideally we should be trying to coach the product owner to not focus on velocity and focus more on value and other KPIs, correct? And really sprint velocity is only should only be product owner concern if there's a major issue. Would you agree with that?
Well, you're right. If there are impediments or if there are, holidays or vacations, that will affect the sprint velocity. And here we have taken the actual hours factor in building the sprint acceleration. And naturally, products owner, to say it in on a lighter note, the PO's job is to squeeze the output from the team as much as possible. That is the nature. That is how the PO should be looking into. At the same time, Scrum Master's focus is to safeguard the team's interests. PO can squeeze the juice out of the team, but not violating the agile principles and values. That is where the Scrum Master comes into picture. So these two roles are created to create a healthy tension so that we get the highly optimized performance from the team. Does that answer your question, Rahul?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So nice session, Meher. Again, this one adds to the great sessions we've been having in this festival, being conducted via different cultures, different countries across the world. So if there are more questions, we can go ahead with those.
Any other questions, comments, feedback? Okay, thank you all for participating in this event. Hope this helped, bringing the clarity between what is the output from the sprint and how to look at the team's performance. And that's the point I tried to establish through this presentation. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Meher.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Meher.
Thank you. Thank you, audience. Enjoy the rest of the festival.